What's up, Juventini? A wild one yesterday with the Paul Pogba interview breaking out and him wanting to stay at Juve and taking a pay cut. But today we find out where Juve stands and we get the list of reasons why they're making this stance. We'll look at it together. The rumor mill on Jonathan David, Leo Ortiz, and Milan Skriniar with a status update there. And then, unfortunately, yet another injury and another Juventus player goes down. What does this mean? And what will our starting lineup be against Lazio in a couple days? We'll look at all of that together right now. I'm Berto. This is the AJ Sear channel dedicated to Juventus. It's October 17th. Let's rock with the news. And yes, we kick things off with the surprise that came yesterday with the Paul Pogba interview. Him stating he wants to remain at Juventus and willing to take a pay cut. This sending many fans to get hyped up and amped up yet again for Pogba. Okay, times 3 now. Where does Juve stand in all this? Annoyed because the interview was not authorized by them. Not only that, but the discussions have already commenced between Paul Pogba's entourage and Juventus on terminating the contract. Juve apparently is not changing their mind, and they still are ready to say goodbye to Paul Pogba. And the reasons listed are as follows. Number 1, he is seen as being tied to the past project and not associated with this new current project. Number 2, the financials. It's great that he says he will take some of his pay cut, but what is some? Some is extremely vague. Number 3, he's been out of action for too long, and maybe there is just no faith in his body holding up. That one would make complete sense, but all of these make perfect sense. For me, you know where I stand, and my take wasn't fully accepted by all the fan base, and I'm okay with that. But this one reeked of PR nonsense from Paul Pogba the entire time for me, and I called it out for that. I feel like he's trying to save face with the fans and give them this feeling that he's at least leaving or terminating the contract, but it's not from his desire, and he was willing to take a cut to save face with fans on what has been nothing short of a complete disaster with his return. And again, before we even get into the doping thing, his body couldn't hold up, not just with Juventus over these past few years, but even beyond that. Before assigning him, many said, why take that shot on this guy's body? It's done. There's a lot of concerns around Paul Pogba, but this interview not being authorized reeks exactly of the problem we were just coming out of, which was the doping scandal, because he acted without even informing Juve of what he was about to take and put into his body. This guy, for me, hey, the fan in me wants to see Paul return and thrive and ball out for us. But this same fan has been stung by this guy way too many times in a short period of time now. I'm just kind of over it. But you guys know the drill. Where do you stand on Monsieur Paul Pogba? Hit me on the comments. But Juve annoyed and still ready to say goodbye. Now we get to the rumor mill. Jonathan David apparently is a summer opportunity for Juventus. But get ready for high salary and commissions on this, as there are a lot of teams circling. Inter is one of them, but the Premier League is going to have clubs going in. So will Juve and Giuntoli still act on Jonathan David with high numbers? It's not really suiting Giuntoli's style so far, but depends what those numbers are. Let's see. As far as the backline, we heard about Leo Ortiz from Flamengo yesterday, but apparently Juve will not act on this because of the price tag associated with the player, which is 15 million euros. They are looking at Milan Skriniar coming in on a loan type deal. So let's see. Now we get to the injury report, and Weah, great news. He will be set to return to action, but bad news yet again. Another player goes down. It's another player that was mentioned to be taking over the 10 role, all right? So we got to stop mentioning who's going to play in that spot because they keep going down. It's Fagioli. Fagioli suffered a knock in training with the Azzurri, and now he is in doubt for this Lazio match. He is going to be assessed on a day-to-day basis, so it isn't anything long-term by any means, but it's annoying because we were looking at him squaring up against Lazio and playing in that role. goal. But now, does this open the door for Luis? Does it open the door for Adzic? We wait to see how Motta will react. But we do have the projected lineup for that game. It is as follows: Di Gregorio, Savona, Kalulu, Gatti, Cambiaso, Locatelli, Thuram, and Luis in the midfield, with Weah on the right wing, Yildiz on the left wing, and Vlahovic up top. I like this lineup. I like Luis, Thuram, and Locatelli sharing the midfield, especially with Luis advanced. Giddy up, let's go. But what do you think about that and all the news? You know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, join our AJC army, but let's mix it up in the comments. What do you think? How do you feel about this game coming up? All right, let's mix it up. And I'll be back tomorrow, as always, with another edition before match day on Saturday, where we will be live at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, getting you hyped up. And yes, I'm bringing you the watch along. As always, till next time, fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.